Welcome to Learn Short and Typing with Vikas sir. Real judgment exercise number 29. 588 words. Add the rate 100 to 110 word per minute with fluctuation. So be ready. Start. On all the aforesaid three aspects, issues and claims based thereupon, an additional issue was that whether the charges can be claimed retrospectively for a period of 3 years and can continue further even if the consumer files a fresh test load report and also deposits in the inspection charges for conducting a fresh inspection. It is not disputed that in the tariff rules for the relevant year there was no statutory provision for claiming the charges retrospectively. The claim for retrospective charges was only based upon office orders of the objector. The arbitrator has noticed the fact that these office orders were never published for information to the people. The counsel for the objector very fairly states that on this aspect of entitlement of claiming the charges retrospectively for 3 years, no objection has been preferred by the objector in this court, and that consequently no challenge is laid on this aspect of the award. I therefore need not dilate any further on this aspect. Next para. I may incidentally note certain other findings of the arbitrator and which have bearing of the facts of the present case. The arbitrator has noted that the petitioner gave a notice to the objector wide letter dated 30/7/1990 informing that the sister concerned, Mrs. Delta Electronics Private Limited, had shifted from the premises in or about June 1990. The petitioner also deposited the re-inspection charges. However, the fact of the matter is that in spite of the intimation and the deposit of the re-inspection charges, the objector never carried out any inspection for many years, and which inspection was only done on 5/5/1994, and which inspection in any case showed that there was no concern in the name of Miss Delta Electronics Limited in the subject premises. On the aspect of load violation charges, the arbitrator has referred to the various provisions of the tariff rules defining connected load and sanctioned load. The arbitrator, on reference to the definitions, has found that the issue therefore pertains to violation of the sanctioned load only and not the connected load, in as much as the MDI instrument did not support the stand of the objector that the load as found in the inspection dated 7/9/1989 was issued by the petitioner. The scope of hearing objections to an award by means of a petition under section 30 and 33 of the Arbitration Act 1940 is well settled. It is necessary before the court can interfere with the award with that the arbitrator must have misconducted himself or the proceedings. If the arbitrator takes one plausible view, then it cannot be said that the arbitrator has misconducted himself or the proceedings merely because another view is possible from the same facts and circumstances. On both the issue of load violation charges and misuse charges, the arbitrator has referred to the relevant provisions of the tariff rules, the provisions of the agreement, various various documents and the facts of the case to give one interpretation. Stop. This was thus a plausible view. Stop. Accordingly, this court has no jurisdiction to interfere with such findings and interpretation, as the said findings and interpretation are not perverse and one which only an unreasonable man could have taken. I am thus not inclined to interfere with the findings in the award. Stop. Further, it is settled law that an arbitrator is the final fact finding authority. Stop.